Hey everybody, welcome to the Gaming X. Today we're going to be taking a look at Shiftlings Enhanced Edition on the Nintendo Switch. Now for those that don't know, this was actually originally released back on the PC in 2015. And this is a puzzle platformer where you find two characters strapped together by a cable. You must navigate to the exit of each level using a combination of the abilities your characters possess. During solo play, you have the freedom to switch control between each character, or you can use teamwork during co-op play. Now remember, if you like what you see today, then hit like, leave us a comment below, or even hit subscribe. It's the easiest way to support the channel. With that being said, let's find out if Shiftlings is a worthy addition to your Switch library. So let's talk graphics, and I love this one. 5 separate worlds create diversity throughout your entire playthrough. Colours pop on screen, and the character design is unique and cartoony, all while having just the slightest hint of twisted. It appealed to the Ren and Stimpy and Adult Swim fan in me. We even get a small amount of cutscenes, which while not really adding anything to the game in particular, it at least gives us a window to see some of the world's characters. It adds a personality to a puzzle platformer, and these in this genre can often be pretty dry. Now I love the style of this game, and alongside 60 frames per second, this is the best it has ever looked. I promise you won't be disappointed playing handheld or docked. So gameplay, and quickly touching on controls, they are relatively simple. Jump, increase or decrease your size between big and small, and then of course movement. It's a simple system, and honestly it's all that's needed. Just remember not to sever the cable between the two characters. When this happens, it's game over and you'll find yourself starting again. So Shiftlings contains 3 modes around the same campaign: solo, local co-op and online co-op. Each of these takes place over 5 worlds with 11 self-contained platform puzzles for you to work through. So let's start with co-op, because 1, it's absolutely great fun, and 2, this is clearly the way this game was intended to be played. Now I found a lot of enjoyment from sitting down and working out the puzzles. It was challenging without moving into frustrating, because while set pieces can be elaborate, it never felt overwhelming. I only had to concern myself with one character, not a combined effort. It's 2 players worth of action taking place on screen, but once you get your head around your responsibilities, you get very good at zoning in only on your individual surroundings and not the entire screen. Now multiplayer is the best way to play, and online co-op is obviously identical. I did face an issue though due to the Switch itself and not the game. This is the Switch's terrible launch of microphones, the Switch app, and the majority of players not using mics yet. Now finally, let's touch on the negatives, and unfortunately for me, that was solo. While it does work, it didn't have the enjoyment I found in co-op. The levels themselves have been designed with co-op in mind, and while you can switch back and forwards as you please between characters, it proved more difficult than I anticipated. Challenging becomes frustrating as you're attempting to monitor 2 characters solo. Now the controls feel great either way, but in the heat of more intense moments, it expects a lot from you to succeed, especially in more challenging scenarios. I frequently found myself making command errors or not allowing myself enough time to succeed under pressure. It works, but it's definitely a much more frustrating and less enjoyable experience. I was trying to beat a co-op game solo, and that does not work. It's 2 players worth of information throwing itself at 1 player. It's a lot to take in. My only other negative here really is replayability, and I will say once you complete this, you will find little reason to go back and replay levels. There's no design in here to drive you to go back for more. This was very much a one-time playthrough title for me, but a very enjoyable one at that when in co-op. So finally, audio, and the game does a great job of reinforcing the settings and locations. Like the visuals, each planet feels wholly unique on the audio front, as well as fully developed. The audio is another layer to support the clear amount of work they've put into this game. Sound effects fill the world, and they always feel unique over the 55 levels. Then there's the soundtrack, and while it's nothing special, there's enough variety in here to build upon the setting and avoid any feelings of repetition. I never found myself reaching for mute, which is always a positive in a game that often forces repetition following failure. Generally, it's good overall. It's not amazing, but it does enough to build upon the setting and bring some value to the title. So the final verdict, Shiftlings does a lot of things right. Fantastic controls, a unique and beautiful world, alongside audio which enhances the world we find ourselves in. Now be warned, this game is intended to be played co-op, and it is the only way to play in my opinion. If you do decide to go solo, then go in expecting some frustration and a slower pace, as you'll of course be doing double the work. Now, if only the game made me want to go back and replay the levels, this could have been a must-buy title. And my last point, if only the game made me want to go back and replay the levels, this could have easily been a must-buy title. The Gaming X awards Shiftlings a 7 out of 10. Now if you're going to play solo only, then I would say take a point off of this, and if you're playing co-op, I'd actually say add one on. This 7 is for the overall package and it's well deserved. This is a title I'm happy to see in my Switch collection. Thanks for watching today. If you liked the video, then remember, hit subscribe and support our growth. It's by far the easiest and the best way to support the channel's future. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next Gaming X.